In this video, we're going to be going over the striations in the skeletal muscle and the parts of a sarcomere that are going to create these striations. When you're looking at skeletal muscle or cardiac muscle, you're going to see these striations that go all the way down a muscle cell. So from this membrane to this membrane is one muscle cell, and this is the length of a muscle cell. And they're really, really long. They can go from tendon to tendon. So they can be inches long, some of them over a foot long if you're dealing with, say, the quadricep muscles. These stripes in through here, we're going to see, are alternations of the thick and thin myofilament. So let's look at this in more detail. A sarcomere is the contractile unit in a striated muscle. It extends from Z disc to the next Z disc. So shown here is a Z disc. To the next Z disc is one sarcomere. And these are the thin filaments that we talked about on each side of that Z disc, coming off the Z disc. The thick filament is in through here. It's thicker. Well, during a muscle contraction, we're going to see that these thick filaments pull the thin filaments over the top of them, what's called the sliding filament model of contraction. And these sarcomeres are going to get shorter because the Z disc here and the Z disc here are going to be pulled closer together. So all down a myofiber, you're going to find repeating sarcomeres. And a sarcomere consists of myofibrils, and myofibrils are the thick and thin myofilaments. So a portion of the sarcomere which contains the thick filament is known as the A band. So we look at here, from here to here is the A band, and A stands for anisotropic, which is just a fancy way of saying it appears dark underneath a light microscope. So if you're looking at a microscopic section of the muscle, you're going to see these dark areas of the striations, and those are called the A band. The length of an A band, shown here, is exactly the length of the thick filament. The A band contains a zone of overlap right here in the center, which is known as the H zone, that contains only thick filaments. So basically, when you look at this, the H zone just goes from where the thin filament is here to the next thin filament. So the H zone on this animation would be right here. It's between this thin filament and that thin filament. So when you contract, the H zone is going to get smaller as thin filaments are pulled closer together. And when you relax, the H zone gets larger. Now you should also know that the A band, which goes from one side of the thick filament to the other side of the thick filament, can have thin filaments in here overlapping. So it doesn't only contain thick filaments. There could be some thin filaments in there as they overlap the thick filament. A portion of the sarcomere that doesn't contain any of the thick filaments is known as the I band. So here's the I band. No thick filaments are in the I band. In fact, the length of an I band is from one side of the Z disc, where the thick filament is, to the other side of the Z disc, to where the thick filament starts. The reason why they refer to it as I is because it looks light underneath a microscope, light microscope. It is isotropic. These areas right in through here is the I band, and actually part of two sarcomeres. Remember, the Z disc to Z disc is one sarcomere. So Z disc is in the center here of the I band, so it's part of this sarcomere and this sarcomere. And we're going to see that when the muscle contracts, the I band is going to get smaller. So shown here in this animation, the I band goes from here to here. And when you contract, the I band is going to get smaller. When you relax, the I band will get larger. Now in the middle of the H zone is a structure called the M line, which functions to hold the thick filaments to one another. This is important because we're going to see that these thick filaments, if they're not attached to the thin filament, then what's holding them in position? Well, one of the proteins that's holding in position is part of the M line, and the M line goes right down holding these thick filaments together. We're going to see another protein called titin actually comes from the Z disc through the thick filament to the other Z disc, and that holds them in the location this way, as the M line, these proteins hold them in this direction. So when we look at a picture here showing the various sarcomeres, we're going to see that these are, well, you can see the Z disc here. Here's the Z disc. Here's the next Z disc here, which is over here. And these areas here that are real light, the I band, is this area here. It has only the thin filaments. Where you see the dark area here, this is going to be the thick filament. And there can be thin filaments overlapping those thick filaments. And then in the very center, you can see this little dark part. That's that M line that's holding those thick filaments together. Now, when you're looking at this image right here, it looks like a two-dimensional image, and you just have thin filaments on one side of the thick filament and thin filaments on the other side. Well, remember, you have all these myosin heads that are wrapped around that thick filament. And each of these myosin heads can grab onto a thin filament. There's actually more than just 2 here on each side of this thick filament. There are 6 of these thin filaments around each thick filament. This right here is your thick filament. These are your thin filaments. This would be your Z disc and your Z disc. And note you have 6 of these around each thick filament. When the thick filaments, the myosin heads bind onto the thin filament and pull them over during a contraction, these all slide over. And you've got all of these myosin heads all around grabbing onto those thin filaments. Now, if I look at a bigger image here, you can see that this right here is the myofibrils. In fact, if I look at this, here's one muscle cell, and then inside of that, remember you have all of these myofibrils, which consist of those thick and thin filaments. Well, if I take one of these shown here, and I expand it out, and I look at it, it'll look like this. This is a myofibril. Around the myofibril, we have sarcoplasmic reticulum, which is the SR here. And then there is tremendous amounts of mitochondria. So if I look at this is the mitochondria here. This is electron micrograph. This is mitochondria in here. See the little M for mitochondria? There's mitochondria here. Contracting muscle requires a lot of ATP. And so you're going to have these mitochondria all through the sarcoplasm supplying ATP to this muscle as it contracts. Well, getting back to the arrangement of the thick and thin filaments. This thick filament right here, if I look at it, that's this right here. And then around this thick filament, I should have 6 thin filaments. So I count them up. So you have a thick filament shown here, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 thin filaments around this. And what's amazing is that not only do you have the 6 around here, and this thick filament's pulling on these, but here's another thick filament. And its myosin heads can also pull on that same thin filament that this one's pulling on. And so when you look at this, well, the myofibril, it consists of, well, hundreds of these thick myofilaments with the thin myofilaments arranged around each one in a 6-to-1 ratio. But these myofilaments here can also be using the thin myofilaments right next to it that this thick myofilament is using. Now, where this is cut at is going to be right through here. If I were to make a cross-section through here, I would only see thick filaments. I wouldn't see any of these thin filaments. What you're looking at, and that would be this right here. Do you see this image where there's no thin filaments around it? That's because on this one, it's showing this. On this one, it's showing this. So they made a cross-section through here. Here's an enlarged image showing this that doesn't have the thin filaments around it. And this one that does, depending on where you make the section. Other muscle proteins that you find in the sarcomere. You have the titin filament. It's an elastic protein that anchors a thick filament to both Z discs and the M line. So this is the titin filament that goes right through the thick filament. It's one of the longest proteins in the body. And it has these spring-like orientations so that when you stretch out the muscle and the sarcomere gets stretched apart, then when you bring back the muscle and the sarcomere returns to its original shape, this is what's helping to bring this back. It's also helping to hold the thick filament in position along with the M line. So you want to be able to go through in Quizlet. I have a number of labeling diagrams like this, so you can label the parts of a sarcomere. Now, the question is, where do these striations come from? Well, they're alternating thick and thin filaments. They're alternating sarcomeres, or they're multiple sarcomeres in line. So this is one muscle cell. Here's the other muscle cell. This is a nucleus. And we're going to see that there are thick areas. Well, actually, this is the A band. There's the next A band. And then in between is the I band. So you have your sarcomere here, and this Z disc is Z disc. So if I come up here and I look at this little line right here that's in the light area, the I band, is a Z disc. The next one over here is another Z disc. So it goes from Z disc to Z disc, Z disc to Z disc. This is one sarcomere. Here's the next sarcomere. Here's the next sarcomere. The dark area is the A band. One way to remember this is if you say dark, second letter in dark is A, so we have the A band. Light area, I band. Second letter in light is I. It's for the I band. So all down the muscle cell, you have thousands, depending on the size of the muscle, millions of these repeating sarcomeres, and that's what gives you the banding pattern in striated muscle. You're going to find striated muscle in both cardiac cells and skeletal muscle cells, but you won't find this banding pattern in smooth muscle. That's another type of arrangement which we'll go over later on. So now that you know the structures of a sarcomere, then you can look at the sliding filament model of contraction or muscle contraction. In this model, it describes the movement of the thick and thin filaments during a muscle contraction. During a contraction, it's important to realize that the thick and thin filaments don't shorten. They don't decrease in size. What happens is that the thick filaments pull the thin filaments over the top of them, so they increase their overlap. Thin filaments are going to slide past the thick filaments, and they're going to extend more deeply into the A band, or towards the center of the sarcomere. The A band, though, is going to remain at constant length. When this happens, when the sarcomere shortens, when the muscle contracts, you definitely should know that the I band shown here, the H band shown here, or H zone, and the Z disc to Z disc, which is the length of a sarcomere, are all going to shorten during a muscle contraction. So whenever all the sarcomeres in a fiber do this, they all shorten, the entire muscle fiber or muscle cell gets shorter, which pulls on the attached tendon, which then pulls on the bone, and you have bone movement due to those muscles. Shown here, the distance between the Z disc, what happens during a contraction? They get smaller. What about the length of the A band, which is from here to here? Stays the same. What about the length of the H zone, which is between here and here, between the thin filaments? It's going to get smaller. What about the I band, which is the length from here to here, with the Z disc at the center? It's going to get smaller. Okay, so next up, we're going to go into muscle contraction and what happens during the whole process from an action potential coming down the lower motor neuron to stimulating the muscle cell.